Students, so now we will study about physical properties of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So in the physical properties, first one, alkyl halides are colorless compounds and have the pleasant smell. So alkyl halides or haloalkanes are colorless and pleasant smell. Then lower members are gases at room temperature and higher members are liquids and solids. So lower member means you can take an example chloromethane, iodomethane, bromomethane or bromoethane. So these are lower member. These are gases and remaining the alkyl halides are liquids and solids. Then haloalkanes are polar in nature. So polar in nature means due to what? The difference between electronegativity between carbon and halogen. So halogen is more electronegative and carbon is less electronegative. That's why it acquires partial negative charge and partial positive charge. That's why haloalkanes or alkyl halides are polar in nature. Next, about melting points and boiling points. The boiling point and melting points of alkyl or aryl halides are higher than the corresponding parent hydrocarbon. Means you take an example, methane. Then you take example chloromethane. Chloromethane is having higher boiling point or melting point compared to what? Methane. Like that. Then the reason because greater the polarity as well as higher molecular mass as compared to parent hydrocarbon. Compared to methane, chloromethane is having higher molecular mass. That's why the boiling point and melting point is more compared to the methane. Even the intermolecular forces of attraction are stronger in halogen derivatives. One more reason it is. We can take an example here. Here example is nothing but 2-bromobutane, 2-bromobutane and 2-bromo-2-methyl propane. So here two examples are there in front of you. So here one is branchings are more, one is branching is less. So whichever branchings is more is having less boiling point or melting point compared to straight chain or less branched chain. So first one 2-bromobutane is a straight chain. Then 2-bromo-2-methyl propane is branched. So branching which decreases the surface area. That's why the boiling point or melting point is also decreases. That's why 2-bromo-2-methyl propane is having less boiling point or melting point compared to 2-bromobutane. Even for the same alkyl halide group, order of boiling point, always order of boiling point, alkyl iodides are having more boiling point compared to alkyl bromides, then alkyl chlorides, and then alkyl fluorides. Because the reason is van der Waals of force of attraction increases with increase in molecular mass. Molecular mass increases, the van der Waals of force of attraction is also increases. For the same halogen atom, the boiling points increases with increase in the size of the alkyl group. If the size of the alkyl group goes on increases, even the boiling point is also goes on increases. The boiling points of isomeric haloalkanes decrease with the increase in branching. So in front of you there is an example 2-bromobutane and 2-bromo-2-methyl propane. So in 2-bromo-2-methyl propane branching is more. That's why the boiling point is goes on decreases. Then here you can take example. So 1-bromobutane is also example. You take 1-bromobutyl and 2-bromobutane, 1-bromobutane, 2-bromobutane and 2-bromo-2-methyl butane. So you can see here how the branching goes on increases, even the boiling point is also goes on decreases. Now about haloarenes. The boiling points of haloarenes are nearly the same as those haloalkanes with same number of carbon atoms. If in haloarenes the same number of carbon atoms are there compared to haloalkanes, then boiling points is also same. Then para dihalo has higher melting point as compared to ortho and meta isomers because para dichlorobenzene is more symmetrical and thus have more compact arrangement in the solid state. So para compounds, para dihalobenzenes have higher melting points compared to ortho and meta because symmetrical compact arrangement. You can take here example orthodichlorobenzene, metadichlorobenzene and paradichlorobenzene. See the boiling points. Paradichlorobenzene is having higher boiling point. Now we will move for chemical properties of haloalkanes. So haloalkanes are reactive compounds. Their reactivity is due to presence of polar carbon halogen bond in their molecule. So already I have explained carbon is less electronegative compared to halogen. carbon gets a partial positive charge and halogen gets a partial negative charge. So due to presence of that partial positive charge and negative charge, so they are reactivity. They are more reactive. That's why the chemical reaction of haloalkanes can be divided into four types. So these haloalkanes undergo four types of reactions. Which are those? First one, nucleophilic substitution reactions. Second one, beta elimination reactions. And third one, reactions with metals. And fourth one, reduction reactions. So haloalkanes or alkyl halide undergo three types of reactions. One is nucleophilic substitution reaction, second one beta elimination reactions, third one reactions with metals, and fourth one reduction reactions. Now first one, nucleophilic substitution reaction we'll study. So in the nucleophilic substitution reaction, so already we know that the carbon halogen bond, so halogen will get a partial negative charge, carbon will get a partial positive charge. The bond between them is polar covalent bond. Even the alkyl halides are polar in nature. Now, due to presence of that partial positive charge and negative charge, whatever the upcoming nucleophile will attack the carbon atom where the partial positive charge is there. So there what happens, the halogen will come out, and whichever nucleophile will attack to the carbon atom, and it will get attached to that carbon atom. You can see here carbon halogen bond. Now partial positive charge and partial negative charge. Nucleophile, if it attacks a carbon, then what happens? Halogen will come out. So nucleophile is substituted to carbon and halogen is removed here. So these are haloalkanes will undergo nucleophilic substitution reactions. So the reactions in which stronger nucleophile displaces the weaker nucleophiles are called nucleophilic substitution reaction. Stronger nucleophile Nu you have taken here nucleophile, and the weaker is X halogen that will come out. Now you can take an example. Now the alkyl halides, if they react with haloalkanes, reacts with aqueous potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide or silver hydroxide, KOH or NaOH or AgOH, that is nothing but potash or sodium hydroxide or moist silver oxide we can call it as. Now first, when alkyl halide is heated with the aqueous potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide or silver oxides, then there will be product as you can see the reaction here. Alkyl halide reacts with the potassium hydroxide. In the potassium hydroxide, OH is a nucleophile. OH is a nucleophile. OH will attack to carbon atom means R. We have taken alkyl halide as RX. That's why it will OH will go and attack to the R and get attached to R. And halogen will remove. Halogen will be removed with potassium. So here we are getting the product alcohols and potassium halides. We can take particular example now. Bromoethane. Bromoethane reacted with potash or potassium hydroxide. So OH is a nucleophile. OH will attack the carbon atom where halogen is linked. Now it will get attached there and halogen will come out with the potassium. Now you will get the product as ethanol and potassium bromide as a byproduct. Same way we can take NaOH also. Here also OH is a nucleophile. So OH will attack the carbon atom and OH will get attached to that carbon atom, and the nucleophile, one more lower nucleophile, lower concentration nucleophile halogen, that is halogen will come out with the sodium. You can take example now, chloromethane or methyl chloride. Chloromethane or methyl chloride, if it reacts with the sodium hydroxide, again sodium hydroxide means OH is a nucleophile, it will attack to the carbon atom and get attached to carbon atom, and halogen will be removed with the sodium. So here also we are getting product as methanol and byproduct is sodium chloride. Same way you can take silver hydroxide, you can take moist silver oxide. So here also OH is a nucleophile, again same OH will attack the carbon atom and halogen will be removed. So again product will be alcohols. So here the silver hydroxide is obtained from silver oxide treating with the water. Aqueous medium we are performing the reaction. So silver oxide, when it is treated with the water, it will form silver hydroxide. Take a particular example, bromoethane reacts or ethyl bromide is reacted. Bromoethane or ethyl bromide is reacted with the same silver hydroxide. It will give rise to ethanol and silver bromide is removed as a byproduct. Next, reaction with alcoholic potassium cyanide or silver cyanide and silver salts of carboxylic acids. Now first one, alkyl halide reacts with the alcoholic potassium cyanides. So when alkyl halides is heated with alcoholic potassium cyanide, alkyl nitriles or cyanoalkane we can call. Alkane nitriles or cyanoalkanes are formed. Take an example. Rx is a haloalkane or alkyl. If it is reacted with potassium cyanide, that is in alcoholic condition, potassium cyanide. Here Cn is a nucleophile. So Cn will attack to again carbon atom. Then halogen will come out with the potassium. Then Cn will attach to carbon. That's why we will get the product as alkane nitrile, or cyanoalkanes, and potassium halides are the byproducts. Take a particular example. Take a particular example. Iodomethane or methyl iodide is reacted with alcoholic potassium cyanide. So here Cn is a nucleophile. So Cn will go and attack to carbon atom and it will get attached to carbon atom. Then iodine will come out with the potassium. So that's why we will get product as cynomethane or methane nitrile. Cynomethane or methane nitrile, and potassium iodide is a byproduct. Now the reaction with alcoholic silver cyanide, same way alkyl halides or haloalkanes is treated with alcoholic silver cyanides. Then the products obtained are isocyanates or carbalamines. Student, this is a important for 1 mark or 2 mark. It is repeatedly asked question. Alkyl halides reacts with silver cyanides. So silver cyanide, that is in alcoholic condition. So alcoholic silver cyanide, isocyanates are formed or carbalamines are formed. Students, remember this reaction. So alkyl halides, that is the Rx, reacts with alcoholic silver cyanide. So here Cn is a nucleophile, but compared to potassium cyanide is ionic in nature. So their carbon will attack to that another carbon atom. But in this case, in the Cn, nitrogen will get a negative charge. Negative charge, or nitrogen will act as a nucleophile. Nitrogen will get a more density, and nitrogen will go and attack due to covalent in nature. Nitrogen will go and attack to carbon atom. So that's why we will get the product as isocyanate. That's why we will get the product as isocyanate, that is NC. So nitrile means Cn, isocyanate means NC. Remember students, isocyanate is NC. You have to write NC. Okay. So here nitrogen will go and attach to carbon atom. There in the potassium cyanides, carbon will go and attach to carbon atom. Their cyanide formation, either nitrile formation, here isocyanate, or carbalamine formation takes place. That is due to ionic nature by potassium cyanide, and silver cyanide is covalent in nature. Take a particular example. Bromoethane reacts with silver cyanide. Again, the nucleophile go and attack to carbon atom where the halogen is attached. Then the halogen will come out with the silver. Then the product obtained is ethyl isocyanate and silver bromide. Now, the reaction with silver salts of carboxylic acids. Now, carboxylic acid means RCOH. So, here there hydrogen we are removing with silver, then it will become a salt, silver salt of carboxylic acid. So, when the alkyl halides are treated with silver salt of carboxylic acid, the ester formation takes place. Ester formation takes place. You can see the reaction. RCOOAG, that is a silver salt of carboxylic acid, reacts with the alkyl halide. So there will be removal of silver halide and there will be formation of ester. There will be formation of ester. Then silver halide as a byproduct. Take a particular example. Take a particular example. Silver acetate or silver salt of ethanoic acid is reacted with iodomethane or methyl iodide. So here product obtained is ester, that is nothing but methyl ethanoate. Methyl ethanoate, and byproduct is silver iodide. Methyl ethanoate is a ester. The next concept, that is 1 mark or 2 mark important, ambidentane nucleophile. So our ambidentane nucleophile means groups such as cyanides, nitriles possesses two nucleophilic centers which are called ambidentane nucleophiles. You can take an example, cyanide. So in the cyanide, that is Cn, so cyanide, there will be nitrogen in a covalent nature. Nitrogen will get a negative charge. So when nitrogen will get a negative charge, it will go and attack to carbon atom. So in the ionic nature, carbon will get a negative charge. Carbon will go and attack to another carbon atom, and it will act as a nucleophilic center. So carbon and nitrogen both are nucleophilic centers, means electron rich centers. That's why if the nucleophile possesses two centers, nucleophilic centers, and those nucleophiles we will call it as what? Ambidentate nucleophiles. You can take cyanides,